Hi everyone, my name is Danny Conforti and I'm a certified financial planner with Pathlight Advisors. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of budgeting and some strategies you can implement to create a healthy financial situation. Budgeting is a crucial skill that can help people of all ages accomplish their financial goals. For teens and young adults, it's not just about saving for immediate wants, it's about building habits that will benefit them throughout their lives. Budgeting matters because it gives you control over your money instead of wondering where it all went. It helps you prioritize important goals like savings, paying off debt, moving out, buying a car, or just building more financial stability. The earlier you start, the bigger advantage you give yourself because you're building good habits before life gets expensive and complicated. And budgeting is really a lifelong skill. No matter how much money you make, knowing how to manage it will always matter. Young adults usually face a lot of new financial responsibilities all at once. Maybe it's rent, groceries, car payments, student loans, insurance, or just learning how to manage money without much support. That's why budgeting is so important. It helps you stretch your income, set goals that are realistic, and stay consistent. The bigger picture is having a long-term vision because when you know what you're working toward, it becomes easier to say no to short-term spending that can pull you off track. The basic budgeting process really comes down to three steps. First, know your income. Understand how much money is coming in each month from work, side jobs, and any other sources. Second, track your expenses because most people underestimate how much they spend on things like food, subscriptions, gas, entertainment, or random purchases. Once you know what's coming in and what's going out, then you can create a budget by deciding how much should go toward needs, savings, and fun money. One way to get a handle on your finances is to create a budget. And one of the more popular budgeting options is the 50-30-20 rule. The numbers in this rule correspond to how much of your after-tax income should be apportioned to broad categories. That is, 50% should go towards needs, 30% should go towards wants, and 20% should go towards savings. Another popular method is the pay yourself first method, which incorporates 80-20 budgeting rules. It means putting 20% of your income towards savings and 80% toward everything else. Paying yourself first can be effective because it ensures you save something every pay period, and it reduces the chance that you'll spend money you intended to save. A zero-based budget is a framework that assigns a job to every dollar of your take-home pay. In other words, you're aiming for what you bring in and what you send out to hit zero each month. But a zero-based budget doesn't mean your goal is to spend everything you earn. Ideally, your zero-based budget assigns part of your monthly income to savings goals like building up emergency savings and saving for retirement. What's important is that nothing just happens to your money by chance. A zero-based budget is very intentional. There is no unplanned free cash or spending. The main point is that the 50-30-20 rule is a starting point, not a perfect formula for everyone. For younger people or teens, essential expenses may be lower if you're not paying rent, utilities, and groceries yet. That means you may have more flexibility to save a higher percentage or use some of the money for things you enjoy. The key is to be intentional. Even if your numbers are different than 50-30-20, every dollar should still have a purpose. Some for needs, some for wants, and some for savings or future goals. Creating a budget is the easy part. The harder part is actually sticking with it. That takes commitment because there will be things that tempt you along the way to spend more than you planned. It also takes discipline, but discipline doesn't mean you can never have fun. It just means you're making decisions that support your goals. And your budget should not be something you set once and never look at again. As life changes, your income, expenses, and priorities will change too, so reviewing it regularly helps you stay on track without feeling stuck. When it comes to retirement savings, the biggest thing is to start early and stay consistent. If your employer offers a match, that's usually one of the best first places to focus because it's essentially extra money being added toward your future. From there, setting up automatic contributions can make saving easier because you're not relying on yourself to remember every month. You also want to understand the tax benefits, like the difference between pre-tax and Roth accounts, because that can affect how your money is taxed both now and later. And lastly, diversification matters. Instead of putting everything into one investment, it's important to spread it out so your retirement savings have a better chance to grow while managing risk over time. The 3-bucket strategy is a simple way to organize your money based on when you might need it. Bucket 1 is your emergency fund. This money you keep safe and accessible for unexpected expenses. Bucket 2 is money you may not need immediately, but you might want access to before retirement, like saving for a home, a car, or other medium-term goals. That money can potentially be invested, but usually with more flexibility than a retirement account. Bucket 3 is your long-term retirement money, like a 401k or an IRA, where the goal is growth over many years. The idea is that each bucket has a different purpose, so you're not treating all of your savings the same. Many budgeting apps come at no cost, offering plenty of potential benefits. We've compiled a selection of the best budgeting apps to suit your unique financial habits, preferences, and spending style. If you're looking for a hands-on budgeting app, this might be the one for you. You Need to Budget is a good app for anyone who wants to get into the type of budgeting that accounts for every single dollar. For those looking for a relatively simple way to set up a budget, it's hard to go wrong with Mint. It's simple and free to use, and it can sync with several different bank accounts. The best app for tracking simply is called Fudget. You manually input your income and spending and categorize each item as you see fit. It's basic with a simple line item approach to what's coming in and what needs to go out. You know the old school budgeting method of keeping cash in labeled paper envelopes? Good Budget is the digital version of that. Money for expenses is divided into categories such as gas, groceries, utilities, debt repayment, and entertainment. Pocket Guard makes our list of the best budget apps because it offers a unique feature called In My Pocket, which crunches numbers from all synced accounts and tells you how much money you have left to spend after your bills are covered. And lastly, the best app for busy people is Simplify. According to Simplify's homepage, this budget app will help you stay on top of your finances in under 5 minutes per week. Simplify sets up a flexible starter spending plan for you and generates a dashboard so you can see where you stand at a glance. From there, you can add custom savings goals and more. Another important point is that you don't have to have this all figured out on your own. There are a lot of free resources available, like financial education websites, nonprofit counseling centers, workshops, and online tools that can help you learn the basics. And as you plan your finances and as your financial life gets more complex, professional guidance can help make you more informed on decisions around budgeting, saving, investing, and debt. The main takeaway is to ask questions instead of waiting until you feel overwhelmed. To wrap everything up, successful budgeting really comes down to a few simple habits, starting as early as you can, because the sooner you build good habits, the easier they are to maintain. Be realistic with your goals so budgeting actually fits your lifestyle and doesn't feel impossible to follow. Stay consistent, even if you're not perfect every month, and review your budget as life changes. And lastly, don't be afraid to ask for help. Budgeting gets easier with practice, and the goal is to build confidence and make better financial decisions over time. Thank you all for joining me today. If you have any questions or would like to set up time to chat with me, please reach out. Take care and have a great day.